What kind of lonely is your lonely? Do you smell smoke? And does anyone smell smoke? Were the most commonly asked questions on the hottest day of the year. Some things are so alien to us, we will seek out tragedy to explain them. When he asked her to move over in bed, he didn't ask her to move over. He said, "I can hardly breathe." Hypochondriacs are much more likely to overly self-diagnose in times of extreme weather. She felt ugly, or maybe it was just unattractively old when the heat expanded the tissue in her joints and her favorite moving parts became cumbersome and sluggish. She spent her bathroom breaks in the walk-in cooler looking for her youth. She found that the bright green bits of broccoli sprouts, they held the most promise. Hearing his sordid request, she was happy to move over. She shared a queen bed with her two younger sisters through her childhood, and sleeping on the edge of that bed kept her alert and thus demanded only the most worthwhile dreams to be projected upon her mind and in her head. "It's much cooler over here." Good. They spent all day talking about the heat wave, first on the commute, then at their desks, then at lunch, then in the meetings, then at happy hour, then at home, on the phone with their mothers, then at home with each other, and the 7 o'clock news. It was something fun when they emptied the contents of their freezer. The ice cube fight that soon escalated to a frozen pea frenzy that warranted an ice cream truce. There was talk of watching March of the Penguins. Instead, they soaked cold water cloths and laid them out on each other's backs in the widest part of their living room. He drew a map on the cloths on her back by running his longest fingers through them, and when she shivered, his map suffered earthquakes. The cold water gathered and ran in rivers where he left pressure. He crossed her spine carefully, fearing a flood, crafting water slides. He was a city planner, a creator of aqueducts, and he smiled from time to time. Where he saw puddles, she felt relief, and his fingers splashed in them, splashing in her relief childishly. After a cold shower, they stripped the bed, opened the windows, closed the curtains, ran the box fan, laid on their backs, and tried to sleep. He looked it up earlier that day. He looked up the coldest part of a common day. He had all night to tell her that it wouldn't be the coldest until half an hour after sunrise. She kept on telling him, "It's getting colder yet. Let's cuddle. Can we cuddle yet?" But the warmth made him irritable. His bones vibrated and her joints throbbed. And he couldn't tell her it's the coldest after sunrise. He just kept on saying, "I can hardly breathe," when he just wanted her to move over.